Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 236 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. We don't have Damon this week. Damon is off with his with one of his kids at college, I believe. So, so it's just Trevor and I. You get a Trevor and Tom show, which I know will be disappointing for some of the listeners.
It'll be fine. It's always fine.
No, it is. Like, I mean, I obviously think, it's good when we do just you and I, but there are some people that tune into the show for Damon. So
well, sorry, I guess try next week.
You guys are, I could just try to be like really contrarian all episode or something Yeah,
let's see if we can, actually, no, I'm not going to say that because I was going to say, let's guess how Damon would react. The problem is that every time we think we know how Damon's going to react to something, he does exactly the opposite of what we think.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long. Let's talk about this, Trevor, because we've been doing this show a long time, right? And I put together the rundowns, right? And there are times where I put things down where I'm like, oh, Damon's going to be interested in this, right? And then we get to it, and he's like, I'm not interested in that. Or I'm like, oh, Damon's going to have this opinion on it. And then he has the complete opposite opinion. I can never predict what that guy's going to do, ever.
Yeah. And that's why I stopped myself halfway through, because I was like, you know what? What I think he would like or not like, I can't even assume that I know, because I think that's part of Damon's nature, is that he is just unpredictable, which is a good thing.
That's true.
Don't take it as, that there's anything wrong with that. It's just very hard for us to guess what he's going to do.
I feel like his opinion on things just changes moment to moment. So you just never know, what it's going to be. Because there have been times where he sent us messages before the show about being all about something. And then we get to the show and he's like, not all about that thing. And it's like, but wait a second. Right before that, you were excited. So anyway, I don't know. But yeah, so Damon's not here. You got Trevor and I. I actually, Trevor, I went to Costco last weekend. I don't know. I didn't talk about this, right? So they already have all the Christmas stuff out of Costco. So they've just decided Halloween's over already on September. And at the end of September, Halloween over. Now it's Christmas. And
so what Disney thing do they have? Because there's always a Disney thing.
Oh, that's what I'm going to talk about. Yeah. And I'll have to see if I can find a picture of it for the episode on the internet, but it's essentially it's one of those lighted ceramic Christmas trees, and it has all the Disney characters in a circle around the tree, and they spin around it slowly. They spin around it. It was, my daughter was obsessed with it, but it was also $100, and I was like, I don't know. It felt like too much. Oh, I think I found it actually.
Okay. I was going to say, I started quickly. I think I might know which one you're talking about.
I did find it. I'm going to send it to you right now. I'm going to send it. But yeah, it's really cool. It's just, it's $100. And I just don't know if I want to spend $100. I don't know.
Yeah. That was the one I was looking at.
This is, you saw this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen this one at my Costco as well. I actually, there is a better one that they've had in the past. So we actually do have a ceramic tree, but it has a train, the inside of it rotates.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
And it lights up, and so there's a train with Mickey and Pluto and stuff on it. And it kind of goes around the inside, which this one's cool. Cause it's just LED lights.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything else though. I guess that's the only thing. For $100.
No, it spins around. The characters spin in a circle.
Okay.
You just can't see it on here.
I see. Oh yeah. I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, you can see how there's a gap there. Yeah. So they spin slowly in a circle while holiday music plays.
Mine's better.
Well, all I know is that we were there and my daughter was like, after we saw it, she was like, can we go back and look at that? And she just like stood there and stared at it for like several minutes. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to buy this thing. Like, you know, and my wife was like, where are we going to put it? They have some good, you know what they have at Costco that's good Disney stuff is they have like good, we have like a mini Disney Christmas village that we put out every year. And they have good additions to the Christmas village. You know, like they have like cool buildings and stuff that they sell. So yeah, I don't know. We didn't buy any Christmas stuff because I was more taken aback at the fact that there was Christmas stuff 3 months before Christmas. But you know,
I mean, this is like in typical Disney fashion, you know, like you said, you know, it's the Halloween stuff's over, Christmas stuff is up, which, you know, Costco is always like a month ahead because
they are.
Yeah, they don't want to wait until November 1st. Obviously, you know, Disney does to a certain extent. I don't even know if like I feel like Disney has even been trying to jump the gun on like in the parks, like they have the Halloween parties and everything. Yeah. There's all the Halloween parties, but it feels like going closer to actual Halloween, even that fades off a little bit, it feels like. And it's almost like if they could get away with it, I feel like they would start the Christmas stuff even sooner.
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah. Like, I think they would prefer to have more Christmas stuff than the Halloween. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, I like it better. I'll be honest. Since I've been to Disney at both Christmas and Halloween, Christmas just feels way better at Disney.
I agree with you because they decorate everywhere for Christmas, whereas like Halloween is really just Magic Kingdom, basically.
Yeah.
You know, which is, you know, it's fine.
It's just got that vibe too, right? Like it's that like classic, like really like old school. I equate it with like 1950s.
100%, yeah.
Christmas, like you know what I mean, right? I don't even know if it's actually 1950s era, but it just feels like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Trevor,
what's your favorite Costco thing?
What's my favorite Costco thing? Like in Disney or just in general?
No, food. Just like food. I'm gonna go food. Like for example, like we in my house have been obsessed recently with these pretzels, Dots pretzels. Have you ever had those?
I don't think so.
It's a North Dakota company, so I figured it, you know, probably made its way over the border. But they're in a big red bag. They cost a fortune in a small bag, but of course you can get a 2-pound bag of them at Costco for the same price. And like we are obsessed with them in our house. They're like a special seasoning and like they're buttery and delicious. I'm sure there's somebody listening to this that knows exactly what I'm talking about, but that's always like one of our go-to. We buy 2 bags of those every time we go to Costco because we will go. I mean, and literally we went last weekend and 1 bag's almost gone already. Like we will house those pretzels.
You know what's going to happen now since you've mentioned that? I've never heard of these before.
Now you got to find them.
I'm going to go to Costco and it's going to be like, oh, there's those things Tom was talking about.
Yeah, you're going to find them.
Yeah, I guess for me, kind of in the same vein, we always we like the peanut butter filled pretzels. So there's pretzels. I think they're Kirkland brand pretzels, but they're like these pretzel bites, and there's just peanut butter in the center, which, you know,
I bought those there before. Yeah.
Those are our go-to right now at Costco.
And you know, listen, Costco is great because it, like, you know, the things shift, right? Like there's always new stuff like that's random. Yeah. Although then sometimes some of the things that you buy all the time go away, so that's frustrating. So hopefully my pretzels don't go away, but yeah, I'm also a sucker for the food court over there too. I love one of those. I don't know if you guys have the chicken bake up there, but the chicken bake is my favorite. So anyway,
no, but we actually we've been buying for years now. We buy the Costco hot dogs because like the same hot dogs that they sell at the
food court thing. Yeah,
the food court. You can buy them frozen. So
nice.
We tend to just keep those at home because then, you know, whenever we make hot dogs, we make Costco hot dogs, which then they're huge too, right? Like
big hot
you
dog.
don't, you don't have to worry about people complaining that they didn't have enough to eat.
This is a really weird aside for us to talk about Costco. I guess I started this, is my fault, but
well, I mean, it's Costco Christmas stuff.
And Disney. There's a Disney angle there, Disney.
I get it because you know, even like we do the same thing. Like my wife is all about the Christmas stuff, but then you're right. There is always a Disney Christmas thing, but the problem we're running into, kind of like the mini Christmas village stuff, is that we're running out of room.
That's our problem too.
For all the different stuff that they have.
Well, so truthfully, we probably would have bought it last weekend, but my wife was like, well, where are we going to put that? And I was like, it's a fair point. We don't really have a place to put it, especially since it needs to be plugged in, so it's not like we could put it in the middle of like our kitchen table because there's no plug. Right. So like you have to have it somewhere near an outlet. And I was like, yeah, there's no really good place to put it. But yeah, I mean, like other than that, we probably would have ended up buying it just because my daughter loved it and it was cool. It was a cool little Christmas thing.
Yeah, we actually put all our stuff. We have an entertainment unit that all of our Disney stuff goes on.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so should we start talking about some of these questions we got here?
Yeah, let's get into this. I guess I can start with Chris's question.
Yeah, sure.
So Chris says, what would be a theme ticketed event that you would add to one of the Disney parks? A theme? So like Halloween or Christmas, but a
different event. I'm going to say, I think it would be cool if Disney would do something like Halloween Horror Nights, like something legit scary that you could do. Even just like here's an idea, right? Like, so you have certain of the Mickey's Not So Scary be Mickey Scary Halloween parties, and you do legitimately scary stuff. And like, you know what I would love to see them do. Trevor?
Not a Magic Kingdom though, right?
I don't know, man. I guess you could do Magic Kingdom, but I think it'd be cool if they could bring back like the extraterrestrial, alien encounter. Right, for the Halloween event, right? You do an event that's scary Halloween themed, and you bring that ride back just for that event
with lots of warnings. Yeah,
but I mean, well, I think if you're going to do a super scary event like that you probably have to age restrict it, But I think it's tough for Disney, right? Because like everyone just assumes whatever happens there is not going to be super scary. They're just, it's Disney, it's not going to be scary, and that's how children end up crying in A Bug's Life. So that's because they're like, oh, Disney's not going to be super scary with it, and I don't think that show is scary, but people that don't like bugs do.
I mean, the spiders are legitimately,
they're pretty scary. Yeah,
scary for anybody who doesn't like spiders, which is a lot of people.
But I think they would have a hard time doing that, obviously, with their experience with Alien Encounter, right? Because it's obviously that did not go well for them, and they had to get rid of it. But I just think it would be cool if they could do, like, because I mean, Universal does a really good job with those Halloween Horror Nights, right? Like they do a lot, and like they do a lot of things that aren't even like their properties, right? Like they do things like Stranger Things, and
just like kind of whatever the current like pop culture horror thing is, right? Or they're not always current, but they always pick. You're right. They pick something.
I'm sure it's not always theirs, but I mean, I'm sure Disney has some straight horror under their brand somewhere, right? Like the maybe from the Fox acquisition or so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the movies that they got, but I'm sure. I mean, they have Alien now, actually, so we know that for sure. I mean, how cool would like a Predator thing be? They have Predator too, right? Predator themed.
I think it would be cool to have like Predator as like a wandering character.
but that would be cool, actually. Yeah, I like it. All right, well, what would your event be?
Okay, so as you were talking through it, so I guess here's the thing: is that Halloween and Christmas are kind of done and taken care of, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about like, well, what could they do at some other time of the year? And I started. Initially I was like, maybe they could do like an Easter after hours event or something, but then I was like, no, that.
What are you going to do with Easter? Yeah,
it doesn't really work. But then as you were talking about like the different IPs and stuff, I actually got an idea, because when Hollywood Studios was MGM Studios, like there was a lot of different IPs like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think it would be really cool to have like an after hours ticketed event at Hollywood Studios for like a 90s throwback event where like they bring back in a lot of the those different IPs that aren't there. Like you said, like, figure out some way, they can make an agreement with, whoever owns licensing for these different things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and have it, and do an after hours event like that. Like I think that would be a really cool idea. Yeah.
I've got one more too. I like that idea though. That sounds cool. Because it's almost like the Star Wars days that they used to do. Like, but then you could come dressed up in 90s clothes and that whole deal, right?
And then get, like I said, kind of get some different IPs hyped up in the parks, which I think that would be kind of neat.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. That's a cool idea. My other idea, and I think this one could actually happen, to be totally honest with you. It's similar to yours, after hours event at Hollywood Studios, but you're only in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and at some point you end up at the Star Cruiser, right? So you do
the now defunct Star Cruiser,
the defunct Star Cruiser, maybe just for dinner, for the dinner show. It's an after hours event. You go and take a trip, quickly up to the Star Cruiser to have your dinner show. And then you have, the Star Cruiser arrives at your destination in Batu. And then you go and do whatever you want around there. I think that would be a thing. Like they've said they're going to do something with the Star Cruiser. They actually did say that. So something's going to happen in that building. But
I like that idea because it's the problem with the Star Cruiser is, it's very expensive for a couple of days.
Exactly.
Where this could be a lot more. I assume it would still be expensive, but you can kind of keep it more bite sized, right? Like you're
doing like a condensed experience almost. You're doing like the same experience, but you're not staying there and you're getting some of the show, Yeah,
you're not getting the full experience, but you're at least, like you said, getting dinner. You're getting some of the interactive stuff, maybe, some of the different things that happen on the Star Cruiser. Yeah, I like that as an after hours ticketed event.
You could even make it like a pretty long event, right? Like you could shut down Galaxy's Edge at 6:00 and you can have it like a really late event.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many people would be upset
if you shut it down at 6:00?
Sorry, Galaxy's Edge is gone at 6:00.
But but it's no different than them shutting down Magic Kingdom at 4:00 for the Christmas party, right? I mean, or 6:00, whatever it is, I forget.
But I guess the thing about that is, people are kind of Magic Kingdom's Magic Kingdom, and people kind of accept it as that's a thing. There's a lot of people that haven't been to Galaxy's Edge yet. And that I think, it's kind of the same problem is that, there would be people that would be arguing about, this was my only time to come here. And, I really wanted to go on this ride, but you shut it down at 6 p.m. So I never got to ride, Rise of the Resistance. Like I can just see people getting more upset about it because the Star Wars fandom at point seems a little overzealous. Overzealous. But let's not toxic. Just some people are a little crazy. And,
they've waded into toxic territory on occasion, but it's not. We can't say that about a whole fan base, right? Like we can't let a few bad apples ruin the bunch, right? So, but no, you're right. There's a very fervent Star Wars fandom, right? Mm-hmm. So that's I would hate to be responsible for making a Star Wars movie, man, because I can only imagine just somebody being like, you screwed up that one thing there. That robot doesn't have that color on their shoulder. Like, you know what I mean? Like
you just have to turn off social media if you're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It takes a special person to direct one of those and write one of those that just doesn't care about, the feedback they're probably going to get about small mistakes, Mm-hmm. All right. So Kristen asks, where would you stay? Battle of the Bargains, Key West or Saratoga? I know, Trevor, you haven't stated either, but I do have a thought on this. So,
so let's start by just, I guess I'll try to generalize what each of these resorts is about first. So Saratoga is very much the racetrack feel, right?
Yeah,
or horse racing, like it's that.
It's the horse racing theme, yeah.
Yeah, horse racing theme, and then Old
Saratoga,
Key West
New York, right? So
yeah, and then Old Key West is more nautical, right? So
it's the Key West style of architecture and stuff. Yeah.
So horse racing versus boats.
You're going with theme. Okay, so you're going by theme completely.
Well, not by theme, but I mean that is part of it for me. Like definitely the vibe I get from a resort does play a lot into it. Like how just how you get the impression when you walk in or when you're walking the grounds, right? I think that matters. But okay, so sorry. Go back to your thought.
Well, here's the thing. So it's tough, right? Because Key West has bigger rooms, right? They have generally bigger rooms. And I mean, both of them have been refreshed recently. I think where Saratoga Springs really wins out is this isn't something that's important to me, but is to some people, is its proximity to Disney Springs. That really close. I mean, and it's not that Key West is far. It's not. It's also right there. But it's. I think after I stayed at Key West, I came back and kind of gave like a review of it, and I liked it. But there was just certain things about it I didn't love. Right, like I felt that the entrance was very small. Like you couldn't really pull your cars up to get your stuff out. Like I do, and it's a little bit better at Saratoga. Like it's. A little more spread out. And then I don't know. I think I just like the theme of Saratoga better. And I like that you're pretty close to Disney Springs. And you can, theoretically, if you wanted to walk over there. I said theoretically because I've never actually, when we stayed at Saratoga, we never ended up walking over there, but you could if you wanted to.
It's further than you think, but yeah, it's
there's a bridge. Walkable. I'm just saying there's a bridge that you can take. And so I don't know. I'd probably pick Saratoga. I think I'd pick Saratoga.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Now, first of all, considering that I've not stayed at either of these resorts, I don't have a frame of reference for what the actual, being on the grounds definitely does affect opinion and whatnot. But, the thing for me is that room size is not as big of a deal breaker for my family because we are a small family. So
yeah,
I'm not so much looking at, they've got this much extra space or whatever. My thing is, so I'm just looking at Old Key West. And the thing is Old Key West does have a boat that goes over to Disney Springs.
It does
as well.
Yeah.
So they both have that transportation. Back to what I was talking about earlier with, the vibe and the general impression of it. I actually like the Old Key West look a lot better
than the Saratoga one. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing wrong with Saratoga. It's just, I guess I kind of like that more, that nautical theme. And I'm just looking at pictures of both of them right now. I just feel I would be more at home in Old Key West. Okay. And the other thing that they have is Olivia's, which
they do
has some really good food. And if I was to stay on a resort, or I guess the difference between Saratoga and Old Key West for me is that there's nothing about Saratoga where I've heard like people be like, oh man, you have to go here because of this food. But I hear about Olivia's in Old Key West all the time. And so I'm kind of like, I think I would stay there just to see what's up with this fried chicken because yeah, right. Why wouldn't you? And so I feel between the two, I would end up at Old Key West before I'd end up at Saratoga.
That's fair. I will say I ate at Olivia's, and I'm going to get some hate for this, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I found it to be a little overrated. I did have breakfast there, though, so I know a lot of people talk about, like you said, the fried chicken and some of that other stuff. So maybe if I had dinner, I would have had a different experience, but breakfast was just okay. It was just fine. So I don't know. Maybe go ahead. People are going to be mad at me. It's fine. To me, there's no better breakfast than Boma over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. The breakfast buffet there is the best. So anyway,
also talking pool wise, you have to admit the Sandcastle pool.
No, it's cool.
At Old Key West is pretty nice. Like,
but there's a greater quantity of pools at Saratoga.
Yeah, but if they're just all basic pools, that's
they are
not
basic
fun.
pools. Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
basic pools, yeah.
Sorry, that to me is not like every Disney resort has like those auxiliary pools so that the main pool is not just full of people all the time. I get that, but I feel like having a main pool that's very well themed is very much an attraction for each resort. And the old Key West one, just looking at pictures between Saratoga and Old Key West, the Saratoga one has that water tower with the slide coming out, which is kind of cool, but the sandcastle just looks more fun to me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give it. I mean, listen, I'm fine staying at either one. I think we enjoyed our stay at Saratoga more than we did at Old Key. And this is no offense to Old Key. Old Key was fine. We liked Old Key. It was just, I don't know. So we liked the vibe better at Saratoga.
So we're split on this one, I guess, yeah. Kristen.
There you go. Yeah. And if Damon were here, he'd say he wants to stay at Saratoga, probably. Yeah. We know Damon loves Saratoga.
To be, he's probably going to say Vero.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because even though he said he hated it, he wants to go back. So yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. All right. So Chris T via email. I am one that is a big gift card user. I wish I was more into the gift card thing because I know all these people do all these like hacks where they get discounts on their Disney gift cards and they use them to pay for tickets and dues and whatever else.
I wish I could do that.
It just seems like a lot of work. I don't know.
None of that exists up here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to do the gift card thing.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. No, I just don't have the time for it, to be totally honest with it, because it's like a whole. But he's talking about he buys them in bulk with discounts. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work to me. But anyway, so he said I buy them in bulk. I know many do, and no secret here. But I was wondering, on our last trip, does Disney not fully know what I've spent there? I am DVC, so they would know that, and tickets are linked, so they know that. I'm not sure they would love to know how much I have spent there, food, merch, etc. Do you think Disney throws pixie dust towards big spending people? I've read articles in the past that they can passively attempt to figure out transactions due to their data. I'm just wondering wondering your thoughts if we are getting looked over in any way. I really don't think so. No, I mean, I don't think that they purposely because I've gotten pixie dust many times, and I wouldn't consider myself a big spender in any way, shape, or form, right? Like, we spend a lot when we're there, but we're not spending like tens of thousands of dollars. Like, we still are careful about things. And like I said, I've gotten things in my room before from Disney. I've gotten free stuff, before where they just have given us stuff. Like I've gotten pixie dust a bunch of times, and I know some people just never get it, and so they don't think it like is a thing, or they like feel like they're being excluded for one reason or another. I think it's just like random luck, though, and also like
yes and no.
Yeah, some of it is. Yeah, some of it is being nice to cast members too, right? Like,
yeah, and that's actually what I was going to bring up. Is I think I know that there. People want there to be a correlation between X amount of dollars spent equals you're going to get a better experience, meaning pixie dust and all of these things. I don't think that's how. That's definitely not how Disney has trained their cast members, from what I've seen. So I'll asterisk that as this is my experience. I'm not saying that this is absolute, but yeah. To your point, Tom, I feel that Disney has made their people be more aware of guests that are standing out around them. They're not looking at, spend or anything like that, because yeah, to that point around the gift cards is the thing about gift cards is that they are entirely non-user specific. Yes, you can register them at like the Disney gift card website and all that kind of stuff, and you can use them to pay for things. But the thing is that those, because they're gift cards, they're meant to be disposable. It's not meant to be, or it's very difficult to track people's usage with them. Like it's not like a credit card or something where you can very clearly see like, oh, here's all the transactions they posted. Now, the thing is, if you're staying on site and you're using your Magic Band to pay for things, Disney can see all of that. But and I have done that. So that's the first thing is, how you're spending when you're there matters more than if you bought a bunch of gift cards up front or anything else like that. But even with them knowing that, I've never seen anybody, I guess from a cast member standpoint, be looking at like a screen, like a tablet or something, and being like, this person flipping through transactions and then being like, we're going to do something nice for this person. I've never seen anything that even alluded to somebody like doing that, kind of picking based on spend or anything like that. What I always see is that, if you're worried about missing out, the best thing you can do is be nice to a cast member, but not from a place of expectation. Because what I find is that you can tell, you can tell when there's two different kinds of people, right? There's some people that, they're like, well, I did something. So, are you going to reciprocate what I did? That expectation of like, I did something nice for you. Are you going to do something nice for me? And then there's people that are just like, hey, I know it's not my job to, somebody knocks something over, I'll help you clean it up, or, I'll just say hi to you. They don't, Disney really loves focusing on people that, just are super nice and that don't blend in with the crowd. Like if you walk around on your Disney trip and you just kind of do your own thing. And I've done this myself is, we've had times in our trips where we don't talk to anybody. It's not that I'm like avoiding people, but it's like, we're kind of in our own little world and we're not even like talking to cast members or anything. We're just going about our business. The thing is that Disney cast members won't notice that. So, to your point about, feeling like you're missing out because cast members aren't giving you what you think you should be getting. If they don't know who you are, you're just you're one person in a million people that walks by them. Right. So they're not going to notice, they're not going to do anything for you. But, if you stop and you say hi to cast members, you just talk with people, you would be surprised. That's where a lot of the pixie dust comes in. And even just the fact that like we've talked with like the people running the ferry boat on the way to Magic Kingdom, and they have some really cool stories, and they love talking to people, but there's usually so many people that are just, on their way to and from Magic Kingdom. They don't stop to talk to these cast members. But if you kind of go out of your way and just talk to people, that's where you get the extra pixie dust that you're talking about. It's not because like you went into a restaurant and you spent X amount of dollars. Like Disney does not want to reward. They don't want to reward people that way on the surface, I guess, is the best way to say it. Like they don't want it to be a very clear correlation between, oh, if you spent this amount of money here, so we're going to give you the extra special treatment. That's not what Disney is about. Like I've never ever seen cast members behave that way.
Well, I mean, and just the proof, and we used to get pixie dusted when we were staying at the All-Star resorts, right? So like,
oh yeah,
and by the way, Chris, we're not saying that you're mean to cast members, by the way. Just we're not saying
no. I'm just it's just a general like if you're worrying that you're not maximizing on what you're doing, like really you are. It sounds like if you're you're trying to find ways to save value by using those gift card discounts and stuff like that. But when you're actually at Disney, like I said, I've personally never seen a case where like somebody has very like brazenly been spending a lot of money in one area in Disney, and Disney comes out with like a cake for them or right. Like it's never been like that. And I've always noticed it more when you actually engage with the cast members, or like even not myself, but like watching other people, like you can see it if you just kind of people watch, because that's something that some of us weirdos like to do too, is, you just watch other people and how they behave. And you can see the difference. Like, from a cast member point of view, if somebody's just being rude to them, or if they're just being, if they're being entitled, right? The people, I spent, $10,000 on this trip. So, you better give me the best service. You can see where the cast members, they will like put on the smile and they're just kind of like, okay, like, here's your thing, now leave. Right. Whereas, people that genuinely like, hey, how's it going? Or just talk with them, that's really what they're after. And that's where they really want to put on that pixie dust, is the people that are genuinely there having a good time and are not worried about dollars and cents. And that's not to say, we all care about, the amount of money we're spending, but, you're not like going to the random, your waiter at a restaurant and being like, I spent, $100 on this meal. You'd better do something for me. Right. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen that.
No, I've never seen that either. And I mean, a couple of examples, just like how I've gotten pixie dusted before, right? Like one example is like our friend was celebrating their birthday one of the weeks that we were there. And so we would just kind of offhandedly mention to the waiter, oh, it's their birthday, whatever. And some of the restaurants we went to, they would bring out a cupcake for her after dinner. Some of them they didn't. And that was fine. Like we didn't ask for anything. We just had said, kind of offhandedly, it was her birthday. And then there was another one too, back when the Lights Motor Action show was going on. I don't know if you remember this, Trevor, but they used to have the little director chairs that were in like a special section. And so we were on our trip, and I was just we were walking by that section, and there was a cast member standing there, and I just like kind of made a joke. I was like, "Oh, what do you have to do to sit there?" You know what I mean? Just like joking with the cast member. And she's like, just have to ask, do you want to sit here? And then she opened up the rope and we sat in the two director chairs. So it was like, it's stuff like that. It just kind of like randomly happens, like where I was just joking around with the cast member. And next thing I know, we're sitting in the special VIP chairs,
Yeah. That's exactly it. Is you're the fact that you took the time to engage with that cast member means more than any amount of money that you spent.
Absolutely.
Like that's I think the thing that a lot of people miss out on with Disney is that they are really teaching their cast members to look for stuff like that and to reciprocate it. And that's I shouldn't say it like that. It's not
reciprocating.
This isn't it's not a game. Like there's no like gaming the system with pixie dust. Like everyone, I guess, wants to feel like there's some way to game the system to get more pixie dust, and there isn't. The honest truth is just be cool. Like
just be cool to the cast members.
Be cool, be a nice person, and you'll get things that will happen. And it's not always what you expect. Like and again, if you're nice, and it's like I know you're saying like with Lights Motor Action, it was like you were joking like, oh, how do you get to sit there kind of thing, and they let you sit there. I wouldn't go at every situation as like, hey, how do I get the, hey, exactly. buddy, how's it going? Like, how do I get this thing? Right.
I wasn't expecting it at all. Right. Like I wasn't asking. I was literally like, just curious,
exactly. Yeah. But if you come at it from a place of like, hey, you're going to give me the bonus, right? Like that's not how to do it. It's, just treat them like human beings is really the easiest way to do it.
Listen, we haven't gotten pixie dust on every single one of our trips, right? Like there are trips we haven't gotten it before. Like I think that makes it more special too, right? Like it's just, the more you do these things, I mean, the more you get them, the less special it becomes, right? Like, so I think getting them every once in a while, getting random things, every once in a while is nice. It wouldn't be as fun if you got them all the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. That was an interesting question. Like
it was.
I get where it comes from because, everyone feels like there's some angle to it, but I think you and I have been to Disney enough that we know that the angle is be nice.
Be nice.
Not be nice with like an asterisk or an expectation. It's just be nice.
Don't have the cast member do the sarcastic "have a magical day" behind your back, to you. Like you don't want that. You don't want that. That's not good. So, so we have some permits that have been filed, Trevor, and this is of particular interest to you, I think.
This is DVC news.
This is DVC news. Yeah. Some permits have been filed for the new Polynesian Tower, which, by the way, like, I haven't seen recent pictures of this, and wow, they put that thing up fast.
That is, that is a lot of concrete.
they did that very quickly, man. Like, I feel like last time I was looking at this, they had just torn down a couple trees, and now there's a whole building there. Like, gosh. Anyway, they filed some permits, and mostly, I guess we're just seeing what the rooms are going to look like on the ground floor specifically. Right. But basically they're showing just kind of the layout of some of the rooms here. So there's the deluxe studios, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom villas, and also the 2-person duo studios, which is, you know, they have those tower studios at Riviera. They're doing the same thing here.
Right. Yeah. I forgot that they were doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like they're going to have lock-offs, which is, you know, I think is interesting. I guess that gives them more flexibility to book them as different things.
It's a 1-bedroom lock. Yeah. Or no, it says dedicated 2-bedroom and then a lock off 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
So is that like 3 studios put together? Or?
I don't know how they're doing that. Well, because one of them will have a kitchen, right? So it's probably they would do it as like the one room is like a studio, and maybe I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah, maybe a studio and a 1-bedroom.
And a 1-bedroom, yeah.
Make a lock off, yeah.
Yeah, and then they have dedicated 2 bedrooms. They're also showing here too. I mean, and these are kind of sketchy pictures, right? So like we can't really, I feel like we can't get a lot off of these things, but, you know, they're really showing like where the kitchen is, where the doors are, where the bathrooms are. That's basically all the information we're getting in these pictures. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't show like beds or where beds would be located or anything, but yeah, it's really just like a top down floor plan, I guess.
Yeah. And that's, you know, the interesting thing here that they mention is in total, the ground floor of this building appears to contain the following. And by the way, this is from DVC News. I want to make sure I give them credit. So they're saying the ground floor of the building contains 1 duo studio, 2 deluxe studios, a dedicated 1-bedroom, 2 of those, and then 1 dedicated 2-bedroom, and then a lock-off 2-bedroom. The interesting thing they note here is they said the presence of the deluxe studio and the lock-off 2-bedroom at villas adds a new dimension to the debate regarding whether the Polynesian Tower will be made part of the current Polynesian bungalows, villas and bungalows, or a separate DVC timeshare association. So they're saying with 360 studio rooms already present, there's no pressing need for additional deluxe studio rooms if the two are going to be combined. So they're saying the fact that there's studios within this plan makes it less likely that they'll be put together. It's what DVC News is saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be its own thing. And yeah, I still go back to, you know, Disney still seems to be wanting to have that rule in place about resale, right? And if they added it into the existing poly contracts, they can't really do that, can they?
I mean,
because then that would mean as a you know,
if you try to resell it, yeah,
current poly owner, I couldn't. Like,
yeah, but they just grandfathered it in by date, though, right? So, like, you're saying, I get what you're saying.
But that would mean like reselling that, you know, if somebody, you know, could only buy it because, or they can only stay at the poly. I don't know. Yeah,
I think they're going to be separate. Yeah. I think they're going to be separate.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, the part about, you know, having the extra studios is kind of weird. Like it's interesting how they're breaking it up because they're. I mean, clearly that they know that they can get more bang for their buck out of having these lock-off 2-bedrooms. Like, I think the lock-off 2-bedroom is really the most interesting thing because it means that, yeah, you could have potentially, you know, a 1-bedroom and a studio side by side.
Yeah.
But, so, you know, I guess when it's busier, you know, the resort has the capability to have more people in it, or
maybe
that makes sense. But
I don't know how they're going to do that though, right? Like, I don't know how they manage lockoffs now. You know, if they will market them as available as a studio in a 1-bedroom, or if they just hold them in 2 bedrooms all the time, or
what do the points look like? Is it cheaper or more expensive than a dedicated 2-bedroom, right?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and do our ad then? So I think that's all I got on this. I mean, this is very sparse details, right? So
yeah, but it's starting to come together, and it's for anyone that has been waiting on this, I think this is very interesting information. Like, I mean, it's not going to be enough for me to consider buying there, but
yeah. Maybe stay there. Maybe you could stay there someday.
Yeah, I'd be curious to check it out. But I'm also, I can walk a little bit.
You can just walk over and check it out.
Yeah, I can walk from where I'm staying anyway. So
that's her. So the sponsor of this episode is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store, a World of DVC company, offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 1-855-382-7368. And please be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. You can also select us in the drop-down if you go on the website too, but it's better just to go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home. So,
yeah.
Trevor, I think we need to talk about the bear in the room.
Not the elephant, but the bear.
Yes, the bear. Yes, the bear in the room.
But it's not in the room. It was in the tree.
It was in the tree. That's right. Yeah. So I had to talk about this, man, because how do you not talk about? So it's funny because the way I digested this news, and we'll get into what this is in a second, in case you somehow didn't see it. This was national news. So, I at first saw all the Frontierland and Liberty Square is shut down. They just didn't open today, and it's like, well, that's kind of weird. You just immediately assume that it's like a power outage or something, right? Like maybe they had an issue with power, right? And then, rumors start floating around the Disney blogosphere that there's a bear, and not a country bear, mind you, which is a real bear, wandering around Frontierland, which turns out to be the case. There was a bear over in Frontierland. Apparently, it was actually kind of behind not. It wasn't really Frontierland. It was actually what I read. It was right by Small World, that backstage area that's in between, I guess, Small World and Haunted Mansion. So,
it was that far back. I was thinking it was near like Big Thunder or something.
Yeah, no, that's what I read. That it was behind the Small World area. So, yeah, isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect to, I feel bad for the people that rolling up on Magic Kingdom in the morning and being told that, hey, half the park is closed. Because really it was where was it here? Swiss Family Treehouse, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, or basically all of Adventureland, all of Frontierland.
Yeah.
And then going
Liberty
up
Square.
Yeah. And Liberty Square were all closed. Like that is half the park.
It's legitimately half the park.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, like, I also feel like I would understand, I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, you don't want me to go in an area where there's a bear, Yeah.
Like, well, you would think
you would hope so. Yeah.
But I mean, I live in a place where bears are very common, and they have to put up like lots of signage, and they hand out pamphlets at our national parks telling people that, the bears are not there as an attraction. Like,
gosh,
there is people that will walk up to a black bear and try to feed it something because they want to get a picture of it, thinking that the black bear would be more interested in the candy bar or whatever they're trying to feed them than them. But the thing is that they are wild animals, and they will take a swipe at you. Even if they're not planning to eat you, they'll take a swipe, and they can do a lot of damage. And, especially in somewhere like Magic Kingdom, I can see why they were extra. I can see why they were extra cautious. And I know a lot of people say, like, hey, half of the park is closed because of a bear. Like why so much space? Bears can move. If they really want to get running, like, you're not going to have time to evacuate people if the bear suddenly gets spooked and, goes tearing off, in front of Rivers of America or something. Right. So I understand why they were extra cautious about it. And I was actually reading here from the where I lost my spot. So Florida Fish and Wildlife had to actually come out and deal with the bear, and they said, in most cases, it's best for the bears to be given space and to move along on their own. But in this given situation, staff have captured the animal and are relocating the bear out of the park into an area around the Ocala National Forest.
Oh, that's where my parents live. I should tell my mom to look out for a bear.
Yeah, the Disney bear.
Yeah, the Disney bear.
So they did. Oh, and also it was an adult female. That's even better.
There you go.
Because females can be very protective. Although there was no young involved, but I
just want to say, Trevor, though, huge kudos to our group for making hilarious memes.
The amount of pics I saw of the bear on different attractions was just,
I said this in the Facebook post. I wish I had Photoshop skills. I do not, right? Like, but I so badly wanted like a bear on like Big Thunder Mountain with like a Mickey bar in one hand, holding a balloon, riding Big Thunder Mountain, and like make a shirt that says "Best Day Ever," right? Like, because you've seen those Best Day Ever shirts, right? Like, and I feel like you could make one for every ride at Magic, from Frontierland and everything. It just would. It's hilarious to me. I feel like people would buy that. But it's so many funny pictures, like really, really well done by a couple. I like the Photoshop skills of a couple people in the group. I was impressed. So yeah, that was good. That was fun. That was making me laugh so much. I'm so glad you guys all did that. That was really making me laugh when that happened. So
now, anyway. Hopefully this doesn't become a regular thing.
No, let's hope not. No. I was even
realistically, like how, because I know there is bears in Florida, but I feel like it's the same kind of thing here. Like even though I said, there is regular encounters with bears, I guess, in Alberta because of, where we are in relation to the Rocky Mountains and all that. But I feel like this is kind of a weird isolated thing. And the other thing too, my wife actually said this, and I didn't really think too far into this, but how did she get into the park?
Must have climbed that big green fence that they have, man. I mean, how else?
Yeah.
Because they have that fence around the whole park, right? I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess that maybe that says something to, or again, I was talking with my wife about this. She was like, how did they not notice that there was a bear there? Like, it seemed like they kind of found it in the morning as they were getting, pre-checks ready for opening. And I said, like you've got a big green fence there. You don't have somebody patrolling it, or you don't have cameras on every inch of the fence, because also humans won't generally like pick a random spot on a fence and just climb it, right? Or like
a couple of tries, but they get caught.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, they tend to go for entrances, and it tends to be like, I feel like it was like in a space where nobody was really looking, and it was like nothing will ever come over this fence, forgetting that bears can climb pretty far and pretty fast without much issues. So yeah, it's just weird though that they or it's weird that it happened, but it's also thankful that it wasn't like in the middle of the day when this happened. Like
worse.
Yeah. I can imagine that those poor cast members in that morning were like, oh, there's a bear here. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What do we do with this? But it would have been a lot worse if it was like all of a sudden there's like a bear by Haunted Mansion and people are freaking out, right?
People are running and trampling each other. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse, honestly. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like that whole thing was really very interesting, how everything happened. I was going to make a point about this, and I don't remember now. But
sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
No, I just totally forgot. I just totally forgot what I was going to say, which is okay. It happens. But yeah, I just, I enjoyed all of the memes about this. It was funny. And like, listen, they relocated the bear. Nobody got hurt. The bear's fine. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know that they had bears in Florida. Like, It didn't feel, Florida doesn't feel like a place that a bear would be. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like any bear in Florida is just by default unhappy because it's hot, right? Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I think of a bear hibernating for the winter, I think of, a snowy cave that they go into. You know what I mean? Like I don't think of like a swamp. I don't think of a bear walking through a swamp. Like that's just weird to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I just didn't know that there were bears there.
They're not in snowy caves either. Like the
I know they're not. That's the picture I get in my mind,
I look at it more as like the houses in the Shire in Lord of the Rings, like kind of dug into the side of a hill is kind of
that makes sense. But not in a swamp, not in not walking around in Central Florida in 90-degree heat.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know how far bears move either. It could have been further north and just could have been wandering, and I don't know. Like they do get pretty far, but I guess it's also surprising too. Like you said, getting through Florida, like that's Central Florida. It's not like there's a lot of urban sprawl that bear would have to get around. I guess. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just strange to me. Like I was talking to my sister about this, and that's the first thing she said to me. She's like, I didn't even know there were bears in Florida. And I was like, I didn't know either. I thought the only thing to be scared of was, the only things I guess were snakes and alligators, right? like that's the only thing I was afraid of in that state. And now I'm afraid, there's bears around too.
I mean, I wouldn't be that afraid of bears.
Oh, I'm not really afraid.
Especially black bears. Like I said, the thing about a black bear is, most of the time they want nothing to do with you, and they will attack when they feel threatened. But if you make enough noise, they usually just want to leave the area. And
exactly.
Yeah. But I could imagine, a bunch of kids and adults freaking out.
Oh, 100%.
Probably, make for a very unhappy bear.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go into the next thing here.
All right.
So Disney announced, and by the way, this is not. I think it's important to say where they said this, right? So, like Disney, in a filing with the SEC, has stated that they plan to spend $60 billion on theme parks and cruises over the next 10 years. Now, we've been hearing Iger and Josh Giamaro say that they were going to make huge investments in the parks. And now they've filed this in an SEC file for investors. And that's a place that you can't really lie about things or just, they can go back on it somewhat. But I mean, this seems like they've outlaid $60 billion over the next 10 years to actually do this. Now, previously, they've said that they were going to do, $10 billion at Disney World. So, unless those plans have changed, I'm just assuming only 10 billion of it is earmarked for Disney World, and the rest is cruises and Disneyland. I know Disneyland has that whole Disneyland Forward initiative that they've been talking about, which
does this include the international parks too?
I think it does because it's just the park segment, but it's always been my understanding that Disney doesn't. The only one that they actually own and really invest in is Paris, right? Like the rest of them are they're only partial owners in, and so they usually have bigger budgets for those. But I guess Shanghai too, probably I don't know how much they put into Shanghai, but I'm sure it does though. But so $60 billion, right? And they also said as part of this too that people think that Disney doesn't have room to develop, and they said they have more than 1,000 acres of land for possible future development to expand the theme park space across its existing sites. And this article mentions that's equal to 7 Disneylands. So right. Listen, some of this we already know about. We already know about some of the cruise line plans, as they've already said that they're going to add 2 more ships. Ships cost a couple $2 billion these days, right? So, you can assume that some of it is coming from that. But, this is a really, $60 billion is double what it spent in the prior 10-year period. So, I think this is a really great sign. It's funny because somebody posted in the Discord, Trevor, that you and I were vindicated by this announcement, that, we felt like after D23 that there was, a lot to come. And Damon said, well, why are they vindicated? They could just buy $61 billion cruise ships. And it's like, Yeah, I'm sure they're going to do that, Damon. Like, I'm sure that's
well. I don't feel like it was an argument between you and me and Damon on it. Anyway.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, no.
Yeah, because to Damon's point, he was looking for something new and innovative, and I get that. Like that is totally fair to feel like Disney's not bringing anything new to the table. Which, okay, fine. For me, what I took away from this was, we saw a bunch of the stuff at D23, which in the past, or the last couple of years, D23 has been very loose, I guess. With they've talked about things that they want to do, but they haven't really solidified on a lot of plans. The thing is that them announcing this, like you said, that this was an investor's statement saying that this money is going into the parks. It is very hard. Like, this to me is where the difference between, saying that we want to do, this amazing new land, but then, getting far enough along going, well, actually, sorry, it wasn't in the budget, or, it was, it was a nice to have, but, it couldn't come to fruition. Right. Whereas this is saying they have allocated this money, or looking at their long-term forecasts, this is where this money is allocated, which is a lot harder to pump the brakes and say, no, like it takes a bigger event, something like COVID, to really, make anything like this stop and go, hold on, we're not doing this anymore. Cancel this, right? Like this is the things that we saw a lot of this stuff from COVID, that they had plans, and we know that it was partially because of like the way Chapek was running things, that they were like, no, that this isn't worth our time anymore. Stop, forget it. And it seems like this statement that just came out is Bob Iger coming back to going, yeah, we need to invest in the parks. We need to get things coming, kind of like what Damon was saying, new and innovative things. It's not, I wouldn't equate that to thrill rides, and I wouldn't equate that to bleeding edge technology in the parks. But what I would equate it to is, and they said it something to this effect further down, is that there's a lot more stories for them to tell, and there's a lot more stuff that, Disney is very much a company about storytelling, and it's these experiences and these places that you walk into where you feel like you're immersed in a story. That's what I'm taking from this, is that, Disney doesn't just want to, make like a Zootopia land where it's like, hey, there's the cardboard cutout of Zootopia in the background. Like they want to make something that feels like you're in the movie. Like they want to make another Cars land, or they want to make more Cars lands, because like that to me is like the prime example of that Disney storytelling in the parks that I don't think a lot of people get, unless you've been to, like, Florida has definitely a lot of places like that, like Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land and stuff. But like Cars Land for me was kind of like that next level, where it was like you almost couldn't see anything else around you. Like you were so immersed in it. And so
I feel like Pandora is kind of like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's different places in the parks that do that. And what this tells me is that this money is being earmarked, that they want to do more of that.
No, so, I agree. I think this is them saying, hey, we're about to announce a bunch of stuff that we're going to invest in over the next 10 years. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they gave us like a full 10-year plan of what they want to do. You know what I mean? Or at least give us a next like 5-year plan.
And 10's a hard sell.
Yeah, because you don't know how things are going to change, right? Yeah. I mean, but they could do it like generally, right? Like, we're going to have this many hotels, we're going to add this many new lands, we're going to, that kind of thing. But I do think we're going to hear something very soon, since they're earmarking this money for. And listen, part of this is, again, it's Iger understanding, and I think this is a thing that Chapek didn't understand. And I'm saying it Chapek just to annoy whoever was annoyed with me saying Chapek, which I don't remember what the right way to say it is. Chapek.
Did I say check? I don't know.
I don't even know what the right way is. I don't care.
That rhymes with paycheck. I don't know.
Paycheck. Yeah, there you go. But I mean, this is the big difference, I think, between him and Iger, is that like even though he was the head of parks, I don't feel like he understood that how important parks were to them. And, with the movies not doing great and with, writer strikes and all this other stuff, like the one thing that's been offsetting all their struggles everywhere else is the parks. The parks are still doing very well and have been doing very well. So, and they feel like they can do even better if they keep investing in them. And that's something that I think most Disney parks fans want to see and want to hear and are excited about, and that's what's going on here. And I think, it's Iger being such a big champion of the parks. And I do think whoever he picks to be his successor is going to be somebody that is all about the parks. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be understand the importance of the parks within the company. So yeah, man, I'm excited to see what the 60 billion is going to translate to, even if only 10 billion of it is for Disney World. I mean, that's fine. Like do 10 billion worth of stuff at Disney World. That sounds good to me.
Well, and like you said, they're already doing a bunch of stuff in Disneyland, which if Disneyland, like, they've got all that, planning for Disneyland. If that got, like, right now, the two parks are definitely worthwhile, but the overall size of Disneyland is a fraction of what is in Disney World.
Oh yeah.
If they got the East and the West Coast kind of on par in that size, like there is a ton of potential there. And the funny thing is that, like, I know for you, like, Florida is definitely, that's the easiest.
Yeah, exactly.
Transit, or the easiest place to go. But, if that was enough that it brought, you were like, hey, I want to go to Disneyland because, they've got, a whole other laundry list of stuff to do that is not any, like there's still a lot of reasons to go to Disneyland, but, if they got it on par with Disney World, that would be amazing. Like
it would, yeah.
The potential there is huge. And I don't think people really realize that sometimes. Like Disneyland has been, it hasn't been growing as fast as it should have been, I guess. But I also get it because of the fact that all the surrounding hotels, like they were very boxed in, and it feels like, them kind of committing this money for the parks and everything. I hope that, East and West Coast both have, I don't want to say, one's better than the other, but I would love to see them like compete for, people's, place to go, because to me, that makes it just an overall better experience for everybody if you have to choose between these two parks, right?
Well, and to your point, like Disneyland is a destination right now. Even if you ask Disney themselves, will tell you that it's like you can get it done in 3 days, right? Like they will recommend a 3-day trip there, right? Whereas if you go to Disney World, like I don't know about you, but we're there for a week or 8 days, and it still doesn't feel like enough. Like it feels like we could have spent another week there. Like, and so
I could spend 10 to 12 days in Disney World quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like, it's just much less at Disneyland, and that's part of why the mix at Disneyland is so much more annual pass holders than visitors coming out there. So, it's just, I think when you, to your point, when you expand like that and you make it a better multi-day, destination, then you end up with more people making it a destination for them to go to, and not just all the, and there's nothing wrong with annual pass holders, but it's, they also probably want to bring more people into the fold like me who've never been there before and make it give me a reason to go out there,
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's exciting news as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But
it's, okay. Are we doing,
of course we're doing food. What are you talking about?
We're doing Halloween. I feel like we talked about Halloween stuff.
We did, but this is different Halloween food, Trevor. This is more Halloween food. They have an absurd amount of Halloween food.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It just never ends. All right. Let's just go with new stuff that catch our eye. Like, for example, over at Beach Club Market at the Beach Club, this Ursula tart is pretty cool, it's a vanilla tart filled with spice cake, chocolate ganache, blackberry pearls, blackberry mousse, and chocolate decor. It's got a really cool
gold
vibe.
Shell.
Yeah. It's got the little gold shell on it. Like that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. I like it. It's understated, but still very much Ursula. This cookie as well. I thought this was a taco.
I thought it was a taco too, but it's not a taco. It's a cookie that is Captain Hook themed, which again I kind of dig. I like that it's got the Captain Hook
mustache and the hook. Yeah, it's. Oh, and I just realized that the white or the frosting's supposed to be like the frills on his.
Oh yeah, you're right.
On his jack or what? I guess it's like his undercoat or what that? Yeah, but yeah.
See, you know what, Trevor? Though I have to say that the quintessential Captain Hook to me is Hook from Hook, right? Like that's.
Dustin Hoffman's Hook?
Yes, I don't know why. I just love that movie the most out of all the Peter Pan stuff. Like,
I mean, how can you not like that movie? Like,
some people don't like it. Spielberg himself doesn't like it. I think Hook is a classic to me, man.
Yeah,
like,
whatever. It's good. Just leave.
I'm
leave it alone.
That's the Hook I think of always. That's in my head. I think of that Hook. I think of Rufio.
Rufio was a great character.
Rufio was amazing. Yeah. Anyway,
all right. Let's keep moving. So I guess the Half Moon Cookie, that is boring.
What about this Haunted Mansion Eclair with just like the Haunted Mansion?
I was going to get to the Eclair, but I want to start on this Half Moon Cookie. Whoever thought this up, like they need to sit in a corner and think about their choices.
All right, let's cut out a Mickey shape, throw some glitter on it, and then throw it on a black and white cookie. But instead of white, it's orange.
and it looks just like half dipped in like chocolate, and then the other half is like somebody just took frosting and like slapped it down. Like it does not look good. Yeah.
Not their best work. Not their best.
No. Available at Boardwalk Deli only, so you're not missing on much if you're at the Boardwalk Deli, people.
I do like this. Like this Haunted Mansion Eclair. Yeah, it's cool.
The Eclair is good. Yeah.
Well, and we should also mention too, it's filled with caramel apple mousse and topped with chocolate caramel ganache. That sounds amazing. Like
that's a lot of caramel.
Caramel apple mousse, man. Oh, that sounds so good.
It's like a little apple pie in an eclair.
Yeah, I agree. All right, how about over at Gasparilla Island Grill at Grand Floridian, we've got the Mike Wazowski Pop. It's confetti cake and robed in green chocolate. It looks like Mike Wazowski. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good submission. The s'mores ghost tart.
Oh yeah,
I like the way it's basic. Like it's not it's not very Disney-esque, I guess, but I like the fact that they took like the wisp of the marshmallow, and they toasted it and like made it into the ghost. Like that's a very cool way.
I've also said before though that I always s'mores anything. You've got me. Yeah. I'm in. But I think the showstopper here though is this not so poison apple. A chocolate cauldron filled with apple spice cake, apple filling, and caramel buttercream topped with an apple mousse, and it just looks incredible. I mean, yeah. I mean, if that comes out like that, looking like that, that's amazing. Because that looks like a real apple. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy shiny and
it is.
Just it's a lot going on. But I almost, you know what I kind of wish they would do? Like I know they show the pictures. I would love if they had like somebody cutting into it so you could really see what's on the inside. Yeah. Like
give us two pictures, one with just the outside as it is, and then what it looks like on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah. I need that action shot of like, what does it look like when I'm, breaking open this apple looking thing.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. That makes sense. I mean, it's just so pretty on the outside though. I feel like you would, be ruining it if you did that. So,
but they have to.
But I have to. Yeah. Oh man, look at this one down at Roaring Fork too. I'm just skipping over the stuff at Fort Wilderness because it all looks kind of basic. But down at Roaring Fork over at Wilderness Lodge, again, another apple themed treat here. That's a green cake with cookies and cream mousse and a sour apple mousse. That looks incredibly cool. What is that? What is on the outside of that?
The green slime?
No, I mean the bottom part. Is that just a wrapper, or is that like what is that?
I think it's. Yeah, Maybe it's not fondant. I don't know, but yeah, it looks kind of like wood, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like what? Like what is it? What is it made of?
Yeah, they don't really say.
They don't.
Cookies and cream. Yeah. I'm surprised that they didn't, or maybe that's not what it's served on. That's actually like part of the cake.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like what's wrapped around the bottom part, like that's pretty cool.
Now, I'm going to get mad at you for a second here because you skipped over this Stitch thing at Polynesian.
Oh, the Stitch thing? I don't care about Stitch.
The vampire Stitch cake. That is cute as heck.
It is.
Like
it's at Poly too. So
yeah, he's got the little fangs and it's.
Do you really want to eat Stitch though? I mean,
Stitch themed stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I thought you were going to say this chocolate cherry coffin, which is also pretty cool. I'll give you that. It's cool. That's over at Riviera.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the coffin's nice, but the vampire Stitch cake is I like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. All right, so down at Hollywood Studios is a bunch of lazy stuff.
Nothing new. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing new there. Old stuff. What is this?
Pop-Tart. Boring Pop-Tart with candy corn. Ew.
Boring Pop-Tart with candy corn. It's pumpkin pie filled though. I don't know, man. What is this cinnamon roll and what is on it? Because it looks like nacho cheese, and I'm pretty sure it's not nacho cheese.
Oh, that? Yeah.
There's no description for this anywhere that I could find.
Halloween themed icing. It's the Halloween colossal Mickey cinnamon roll.
So it's just a regular icing that they threw some orange food color in.
This is at Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
In Kusafiri Coffee Shop and Tamo Tamo refreshments.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, it looks like the normal. I mean, Disney does cinnamon rolls really well. They always usually have really good, like cinnamon rolls. So
yeah, accidentally, trick or treat is either you get the iced one or you get the one with queso on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I want a darker orange than that. I want more of a pumpkin-y orange. That just looks like the nacho cheese you get out of like the pump. Yeah.
Yeah, or I guess it's not queso. Yeah, it's the
yeah. You know what I'm talking about though. It's that nacho cheese. Yeah. All right. I don't see anything else on here. There's a couple of new things. They're doing all right. All right. Well, let's skip over to EPCOT stuff, right? So new EPCOT Festival Marketplaces debut September 22nd, which was 2 days or 3 days after you're hearing this. I mean, before you hearing this, right? So this already happened. So these are available now. What'd you say?
It's already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened.
Yeah.
So the Connections Cafe has the croissant donut is back, which I had a couple of years ago, by the way. If you've never had a croissant donut, they are delicious. Go get that.
Like buttery with sugar.
Yeah, it's basically a donut made out of a croissant. It's delish. Yeah, it's really good. And then what's this like little half moon thing over here? What is that? The Black Forest? It's called
Baumkuchen.
Baumkuchen? Yeah.
Baumkuchen, yeah.
All I know is that looks delicious. I don't know what it is, but I want to eat it.
It's got a lot of layers of something in it.
Yeah, I need to Google what this is because I don't know what it, like I wish they gave details. It just says it matter of factly. Like you should Baumkuchen. Yeah. Like, yeah, of course, everyone knows what that is.
Clearly.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't even find this on the internet. What is that?
Well, you're doing that. I'm already over at Sunshine Seasons looking at. Right. They've got some new stuff in for fall, which is great. The peanut butter whoopie pie. I would love a peanut butter whoopie pie.
Yeah, who doesn't like a peanut butter whoopie pie? Yeah. Yeah,
I've never had a peanut butter whoopie pie before. That I guess that's the thing is I don't even know what to expect, but I want a peanut butter.
You just
whoopie
want
pie.
Yeah. All right, so the Baumkuchen or whatever, however you say it, I'm sure someone's going to comment on it. It's a 15-layer cake that has cherries, chantilly cream, and chocolate sauce. Yeah, ooh. That's 100% something I want to eat.
That's a later in the evening kind of snack. It sounds like.
Yeah, although oddly, it's funny. It's at Connections, which is interesting that's something they're serving there. So okay,
you get it on your way out, or as you're on your way over to Spaceship Earth.
There you go. Yeah.
Because you're standing in line eating your Baumkuchen.
Your Baumkuchen. I hope we're saying that really wrong. And somebody like we have a fan in Germany.
I kind of want to Google it and because Google can
read it to you. Yeah. No, so we have somebody listening in Germany right now that's yelling, "No, that's the wrong way to say that."
All right, I'm doing it. I'm going to regret this. But...
It literally translates to log cake in German. Okay, so there you go, log cake.
Baumkuchen.
Okay, so we were close.
Baumkuchen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
all right,
there we go.
We were close. Okay, I'll take it.
Right.
So Space 220 or Space 2020, as I think I called it way back when. Is celebrating its 2-year anniversary, which I can't believe it's been open for 2 years already. Like I remember, like we did all those shows of just like, oh, it's going to open.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, just waiting for it, and then like now it's been open for 2 years somehow. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just trying to like. It looks like they've got some new food items. Nothing really jumping out to me.
I mean, this Neptunia tartare looks pretty good. Yeah, I know it's not your thing, but it's yellowfin tuna, avocado crema, mango coulis, edamame, wonton crisps, and yuzu dressing. Like that's
okay.
Yeah. For anyone that's into seafood, I bet that's going to be really good.
I'm into seafood. I see food and I eat it. Oh, dad jokes coming. Dad jokes.
Oh no.
Up in here. Okay. I couldn't help myself, man. And then they got a bunch of drinks too. So they've got some special drinks. And I'm just looking at the Starship.
Oh, and these are non-alcoholic too. Yeah.
Yeah. What is butterfly pea flower? I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Is that this? No, that's not the one that looks like the Earth, is it?
I don't know. That one is trippy, man.
Moon rocks.
I'm gonna guess that's the Galaxy Spritz, maybe.
Lemon juice, cotton candy, blue cotton candy syrup, Sprite, pineapple, and pop rocks.
Yeah.
These are looking kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're looking very cool. Very Space 220, actually. They're got a very. I want this one that looks like a galaxy somewhere. That's why I'm thinking it's the Galaxy Spritz. But
yeah,
but I don't know how they're getting that cool effect. I don't know. Maybe it's photography. I don't know.
No, certain things don't mix together immediately, right? Like if you can put two different liquids in, and they'll kind of like swirl around one another.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some science going on there.
I'm sure.
They're pretty good at it.
There's
a drink called Illumination.
Ooh, is there? Oh yeah, look at that. Bacardi rum, Malibu Caribbean rum, passion fruit, blood orange, pineapple, lime sour, and passion fruit boba.
I figured you would want to be trying that.
I'm guessing that's the bottom left-hand corner there, because I see the boba on the top there, and it kind of looks like it would be that color. So, yeah, I'm not a drinker though, so I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have any of these.
I mean, you could ask, or I guess I don't know what a non-alcoholic version of that would look like, but because that's a lot of rum.
I'm just now moving down to the new EPCOT stuff, like the new International Festival of the Holidays. Wedge and wine. So it looks like they got some charcuterie boards going on here, right? Is that what I'm seeing? Like a mini charcuterie board?
It's just charcuterie. Okay.
It does. I mean, it just says assorted cheeses and accompaniments. Which
I don't like. Okay, if I'm going to be at Disney, I don't want to pay for a charcuterie board. There, I said it.
There's another podcast, and I don't remember which one it is, that is obsessed with charcuterie boards.
But it's such like a. I know that they're like curating like whatever cheese and meat and stuff that goes into it, but it just feels like
it feels lazy.
Like I can go. I can go to the deli and buy stuff and. And hey, here's a charcuterie board. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel very like worth my time, right?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Then we have, outside of wine and wedge, we've got char and chop. They're obviously going for a alliteration theme this year. Yeah, right. I'm just trying to see here. None of this really does it for me. There's like a meat thing. Trio of shaved meats with baby arugula, pickled mustard seeds, truffle oil, and grilled ciabatta.
That's that one on the right. It looks like, which again looks like a charcuterie board.
It does. It's just on a plate. And then you have there's a
belly.
There's an impossible spicy sausage with polenta. Okay, I don't know. None of these things really jump out to me as something I want.
And you're clearly not going to Bubbles and Brine.
Oh gosh, no. Shrimp cocktail and crab cocktail. No. Yeah. Now, here's the place I want to go. Is World Showcase Mickey-shaped liquid nitrogen cake. Okay. Did they like freeze it in front of you in liquid nitrogen? Because that would be cool.
I would assume so, because that's usually what happens when you get anything served in liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, actually, we did
looks scary.
Yeah, it does. We did a dessert party at EPCOT one time, and it was in those back conference center kind of things that they have right behind the World Showcase. And they were doing nitrogen ice cream there at one of the stations. So like you could just get fresh made nitrogen ice cream. And this was like 10 years ago, probably, that they were doing that. So
actually, I'm remembering now too. We did do a dessert party in Hollywood Studios back in like 2017, I want to say. It was at the Star Wars launch bay before Galaxy's Edge opened.
Okay.
And I remember now, yeah, they did the same thing there where they had the liquid nitrogen ice cream, which was fun because like you got it, and like if you put it in your mouth right away and then breathed out, it was like dragon's breath.
Like dragon breath, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun, like, it's not just like the food itself is like, yeah, it's a cake or it's a, ice cream or whatever, but the presentation is, part of what makes it, right? Like I feel like these Mickey liquid nitro cakes I can see these being a very popular item if people kind of realize what it is. Right?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's all we got, I think. Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't feel the need to talk about this popcorn bucket. I feel like we've seen it before. It's nothing new. So, yeah, why don't we just wrap up? Yeah, it is blue. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, it's purple. I'm sorry.
Purple.
It looked
100th anniversary. And yeah.
Purple. Right. Everything's purple in the 100th anniversary.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this thing up, Trevor. Let's get at it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So as usual, if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting your questions and you guys just sharing your own thoughts and whatnot on anything we're talking about on the show. So keep that stuff coming. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. On Facebook, make sure you check out our group called Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. You'll find lots of stuff relating to the episodes in there. We got people posting memes about bears in the park and whatever else happens, because we never know what's going to happen. We never know what memes people will find and post in the group. But it's always fun to see it. So. Make sure you're in the group so you don't miss out on any of that. And also, the group is a great place to ask other Disney people for thoughts. If you're planning a trip yourself or you just want to know more about Disney or DVC, that's a great place where we've got a lot of great listeners that will chip in with their knowledge. And we love to talk in the group as well. So make sure you check it out. If you'd like to support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and you can check out our different merchandise there. We have the new logo up on the store, so you can get shirts and stuff that have our brand new logo that we just did. Hopefully you guys like it. I've been seeing a lot of great feedback on it that people seem to be enjoying it. So I'd love to see some people with some shirts on, like Damon said last week. We need to see some pics of people rocking the new logo out in the parks, because that just needs to happen.
And apparently Damon's taking requests because I see get emails, new item posted, and it's like for Kristen. Like wait what? Like Damon's just posting individual requests into our store. So. If you have an individual request, go ahead and post it in the group, and maybe Damon will make you your own special item just for you. If you really want that paddle board, what do you call it? A pickleball paddle.
Within reason.
Within reason, yeah. He did the fanny packs for a couple people, which, listen, I really want to see somebody rocking a welcome home fanny pack. Like, that would make me really happy.
That I think I would. I didn't think I needed to see that, but I do need to see that.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And also, so outside of the new logo, we also have the golden button shirts. So for anyone that knows the history on the golden button, we have a shirt now that has, the golden button saying that you're celebrating listening to Welcome Home Podcast. So if that's, something you want to get your hands on, make sure you do. That will only be in the store for a limited time. I think we were talking about running it till December timeframe.
I think so. Yeah.
If you don't get it now, you may not ever see it again, because we don't like to keep stuff just running in the store forever, because they don't let us, or it's not that they don't let us run stuff. It's that it becomes very cost prohibitive to keep stuff in the store for a long period of time. So, if, like I said, if you want to get something from the store, please check it out. Also, if you go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod, that's another way that you could help support the show. As we're talking about, there is different levels of support on Patreon that will get you access to an exclusive Patreon logo, also get you access to the Discord server, and our Patreon listeners can get a discount on the store. So if you're looking at any of the merch that we're talking about, if you're a Patreon listener, you can get a discount. So, more reasons to join the Patreon and make use of that.
Yeah.
And last but not least, if you are listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It does help more people find the podcast. And we do like to read out our iTunes reviews if there's anything fun or interesting that people have posted. I don't know if there was any new ones this week, Tom.
I do have a new one, actually.
All right, go for it.
This is from Mithra. Okay, and I apologize if I said your name incorrectly, but it says fun and interesting. I started listening about a month ago, and I just love it. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for that kind comment.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I've been a big Disney fan since I was little, and after getting to participate in the Disney College program, I love Disney parks even more. That's good that it didn't, being a college program didn't ruin the parks for you. That's great that it made it better.
I think a lot of people come out of the college program really just, appreciating Disney, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These guys give you so much information, and their discussions and speculations on all things Disney is very entertaining. I appreciate all their knowledge about DVC. Thank you all. So thank you so much for that. That was really kind. That was a nice one. So thanks, Mithra. And then, of course, besides giving us reviews, also be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. It's also a way that you can help the podcast, too. It's really important to subscribe to podcasts for the algorithms out there, to get us noticed by more people. You can find our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any place you can find podcasts. Also, YouTube and YouTube Music. You can also find us now. All of the episodes going forward are on YouTube and YouTube Music, so check that out. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own, so please consult with a Disney cast member or a DVC cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsor, DVC Rental Store, for sponsoring this episode, and of course, World of DVC for continuing to be a supporter of this show. Please go check them out if you want to rent out your points, or if you want to give DVC a shot. You want to give DVC a try. My wife was just saying the other day, one of her friends at her job she found out is a huge Disney fan and was saying that, hopes that one day she can afford DVC. And I said to my wife, I was like, why don't you tell her to rent and try it out? And she was like, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, yeah, do that. Like, let her rent out, because you can, try out DVC and see if it works for you,
Yeah, try before you buy.
Exactly. So join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair.